Good evening, I'm Ophelia Young. CJ and Paula have the night off. Starting our news today, we have 3 earthquakes that just hit the area of Los Angeles earlier tonight, and it seems like it was pretty shaky down there.
Yeah, Ophelia, experts with the USGS who monitor any sort of earthquake movement or volcanic activity say that it's been a relatively quiet 20 years since the Northridge earthquake in '94, and things have certainly picked up for 2014. We saw
that earthquake, I think it was just a week ago.
Yeah. Earlier in the month, back towards St. Patrick's Day. And then tonight, here's the biggest one. I want to highlight this one. It was a shallow quake at about a mile below the Earth's surface, a 5.1 magnitude quake. It struck right around 9:09 p.m., and it was centered 1 mile east of La Habra, California, which is in northwestern Orange County. But as we mentioned, this was all in a series of quakes. They call this an earthquake sequence. We've seen nearly 20 aftershocks and pre-quakes over the past 3 hours. The first one, the foreshock or pre-quake, at 8:03 p.m., that was a 3.6, all centered right around La Habra and Fullerton in Orange County. The main quake, a 5.1, and then 2 significant aftershocks at or above that 3.0 mark, one at 9:12 and another one at 9:31. I just checked the activity log, Ophelia, and it looks like the last one was reported at 10:05 p.m., so it's quieted down since, but it doesn't mean that more can't take place, so residents in that area should be alert, should be ready in case more action picks up.
All right, well, thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
Now we have one of our producers, Cecilia Wong. She was visiting her relatives tonight when the earthquake hit. She joins us now to tell us a little bit more. Cecilia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing very well, thank you. Cecilia, how did the earthquake feel like? Describe your experience.
At first, I thought it was my sister running back and forth, and in my chair, I was sitting on a high stool, and it moved backwards, and it scared me a little bit. And then afterwards, I felt kind of nauseous, and I saw the blinds moving. And so it's one of the strongest I've felt since I've been in California.
Cecilia, some eyewitnesses say the shaking seemed to go on for what seemed like forever. How long did it last where you were?
It felt like 30 seconds to a minute, because usually earthquakes, I would feel it, and then before I realized what it was, it's done. This, I realized it, and it was still going on. I was watching my blinds shake.
Wow. Cecilia, did you feel any of the aftershocks?
I only felt the one at 9:12. That was the strongest one I felt.
And have you been out to check things out in the neighborhood, made sure everyone's okay? Any signs of damage in the area?
I looked out the window. Didn't seem like it was a big deal. I checked Facebook right away. Everyone was saying how this is like one of the biggest ones, one of the first ones they felt. And so I'm guessing it's been pretty big.
Okay. All right, Cecilia, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, we have a live picture of an overturned car right now. We do believe that this may be a result of the earthquake. Wow, that must be a pretty strong earthquake in order to overturn a car.
Absolutely, and we've heard different reports coming in that Disneyland has had folks, they've been told to leave. They're not being evacuated from the park. There's also been some minor damage in and around Fullerton. One of the fire stations suffered structural damage. So there's some damage in and around the epicenter, which is where the shaking was described as violent. Farther away you went, people certainly felt it as far south as San Diego, as far west as Ventura County. Some of our viewers letting me know via Twitter.
Yeah, very scary. All right, well, moving on, it's been a very difficult